YouTube, this is Racing Kid 39, and today we're going to talk about some online features that can help improve the gameplay in NASCAR Heat 5 online racing. We're going to go in sequential order, starting with the lobby creation screen, work our way into the lobby, and lastly, we're going to talk about the racing and spectating aspect in online lobbies. Let's take the green flag to this video and get started. In lobby settings, certain rules should be put in place to ban dirty driving. Now, I'm a former dirty racer myself. I used to do dirty racing on Gran Turismo, and I do race a little dirty on Wreckfest. But I don't appreciate drivers who sit in the middle of the racetrack and change the entire outcome of the race by waiting for the leaders and trying to cause a massive pile. This is so prominent in Michael Roots' online streams. You also see it with random lobbies that I've joined in. Heck, one time, the host of the lobby was causing all of the crashes. He would stop right at the finish line and try to cause a massive pileup and take out as many people as possible. I think being able to set rules for that, plus the addition of penalties, this would improve the online experience greatly, and it would weed out all of the drivers who are going to be a bunch of trolls and ruin the whole race for everybody. Moving on to race settings, I would like to see developers of 704 Games implement practice and qualifying sessions. There are a couple ways they can do this. The first way is that they can take a page from Project Cars 2, where you can adjust the timers for qualifying and practice. Another way they can do it is by implementing presets. So for the presets, you would have full practice, full qualifying in a race, limited practice, qualifying in a race, qualifying in race only, or the default way that has been used from NASCAR Heat Evolution to NASCAR Heat 4 and hopping in and doing a race only. The next thing that I'd like to see in the race settings screen is an option for a different starting lineup format. Currently, the lap that you set from the previous race, it carries over to the next race. For instance, if I finished 5th in the previous race, but I had the 10th fastest lap time, I would start 10th in the next race. An option that I'd like to see added on for a starting lineup format is the starting lineup for the next race being set by the previous race results, if qualifying is not turned on. So instead of starting 10th for the next race, I would end up starting 5th. I think this just gives a different option for the host to play around with, see what they prefer, but I think this would really help out for the most part. And lastly, in the race settings screen, can we please have the ability to adjust the AI difficulty if AI cars are turned on in race settings? The AI cars in NASCAR Heat are absolute roadblocks. They've been roadblocks since NASCAR Heat Evolution. It seems like nothing much has changed in that aspect. I think being able to adjust the AI difficulty where they aren't rolling roadblocks and driving about 40 miles per hour slower than the rest of the field would really improve the overall quality of racing. You look at games like Wreckfest and NASCAR Heat, or NASCAR Racing 2003 season, they have options to adjust the AI difficulty. I think being able to adjust the AI difficulty would be extremely helpful, and they wouldn't cause so much carnage that you see now, where they're driving extremely slow and have limited awareness of what's going on. Now that I've talked about the race settings, I'm going to move on to being in the lobby. In the lobby, there should be an in-house option to change your paint scheme. It is infuriating to click the circle button twice just to change your paint scheme. And this sucks when you're in a full lobby and you want to rock with a different look. You essentially risk your chance of rejoining that lobby. I wish there was an in-house option in the lobby where you can change your paint scheme. This would be extremely helpful, and this has been my #1 biggest complaint so far about the online aspect of the NASCAR Heat franchise. Next, I would like to see an option for public lobbies to be able to change the racing series and adjust the race length. In private lobbies, you're able to do this, but I would like to see an option for public lobbies to have this ability to change the racing series and change the length. This would really help out, instead of having to back out and create a new lobby if you want to race a different series. After that, I would like to see improved stats and dedicated stat screens. You look at the older Call of Duty games, you clicked a certain button and you could view everyone in the lobby. You could view their kill to death ratio, their win to loss ratio, how many kills they've gotten, how many deaths, and their score per minute in any certain game mode. I would like to see this with NASCAR Heat 5. A stat screen where you can view everyone's statistics, how many stages they've won, how many poles they've won, what's their average finish, etc. This would give a whole idea, okay, who am I racing around? Who are the good drivers? Who are the drivers that are middle of the road, and who are the drivers in the low tier? Also, I wish 704 Games would calculate the total number of points that you've earned in an online lobby in every race you've been in. What I've noticed is that 704 Games only calculates the points you've earned from your last 4 races. It's not a total accumulation of all the events you've raced in. So I think being able to calculate the total sum, or the total number of points that you have earned from racing in the lobby, I think this would be very helpful for the most part. Instead of the game adding up the total number of points you've earned from just 4 races. Now that I've talked about being in the lobby, let's move on to the final portion of my wish list, and that is racing and the spectating aspects of online racing. Starting with the actual gameplay and racing on the track, I want to have the ability to manually drive onto pit road and under caution. Pit road collisions with AI taking over for other drivers has been a major problem in the core league. Drivers like Black Lives Matter, Michael Root, What If Racing, Sloppy Joe, and Winvel all have been affected by this problem. So being able to manually drive on the pit road and under caution, I think this would certainly reduce or greatly reduce the number of pit road collisions that occur in a race. The next thing I'd like to see are improved racing lines and improved mechanics with super speedway racing. There are some tracks, majority of the tracks in this game, you can basically run the bottom line around the whole racetrack and you're able to pass a lot of cars. There are tracks like Las Vegas, it's kind of hard to pass on the outside. Atlanta is a tough track to pass on the outside. And then Kansas is a one-lane track, and it's the only one, in my opinion, where the outside line is the most predominant line to race on. So just improved racing lines for the most part would help out the experience in NASCAR Heat Online. In regards to super speedway racing, if you hug the yellow line all the way around the track, it is nearly impossible for other cars to pass on the inside. So I wish the outside line had some sort of ability to actually gain equal ground on the inside line, because the inside line on NASCAR Heat Online racing and super speedways is extremely overpowered. You can rock the bottom the whole time and just form a long train throughout the entire race, and it gets you a lot of speed. So I just wish more lines with the outside and the middle. I wish they were as effective as the inside line. Now moving on to spectating. Boy, we're going to get into that now. In spectating, the spectator view in NASCAR Heat is extremely bare bones. It almost seems like an afterthought in my opinion. The only things that are in the spectator view are a scrolling ticker on the top of the screen that moves at a snail's speed, and then options in the bottom for previous driver, next driver, changing the camera, and disconnecting from spectator and the lobby altogether. There is no leaderboard that shows intervals, current stage, how many laps are in the race, etc. And this can be implemented. A leaderboard can be implemented into NASCAR Heat. You take a look at the NASCAR Heat Pro League that is now defunct, and look what is there. A live leaderboard that is simple and aesthetically pleasing, and it fits the theme of NASCAR Heat. I mean, look how clean this looks. Why is this not in Spectator View? You have the current information of the race, you have the intervals between every single competitor. I mean, how is this not there? It's crazy in my opinion. Adding this leaderboard would not only improve commentary for leagues, but it would also give a general idea for viewers of the race to view, okay, who's leading the race? Who's running the fastest lap? What are the intervals between each driver? I mean, this seems to be a simple addition I think really needs to be implemented into the spectator. And last but not least, I would like to see different camera and driver viewing options. In the bottom, if you click on X or circle on the PlayStation, it'll just hop over to a random driver. And it kind of sucks if you want to view the guy who's in second place, and you click on the next driver, and it goes to a driver who is at the back of the pack. So being able to have a drop-down menu to view a certain driver would be very beneficial for spectators. 704 Games does a nice job with interacting with the community and utilizing feedback from other players. A couple of weeks ago, they were part of Michael Mertz's live stream, and they commented on WinVal's NASCAR Heat 5 wishlist video. If anyone from 704 Games and the NASCAR Heat franchise sees this video, I hope that some of the changes that I have recommended are implemented into the online aspect of NASCAR Heat 5. This will greatly improve the overall online racing product and make it more enjoyable for all players. Thank you for watching this video. I have taken the checkered flag, and I will see you guys next time. See you later, guys.